Good day everyone. So Bayelsans have been dealing with the troubling news of the demise of a citizen, which appears to be a consequence of either police brutality or corruption in the police force. So today I'll address the issue on why the Nigerian police force is the way it is. Various authors have tried to answer this question with very plausible narratives, which I also ascribe to because the origins of an agency tells a lot about its trajectory. So on that account, serious authors have shared their opinions, verifying the fact that the acts of corruption and malpractices that pervade the Nigerian police force are actually a colonial legacy. In order to corroborate or justify this statement I just made, I'll read a quote from an article authored by Babatunde. The title of the article I'll be reading from is "Torture by the Nigerian Police Force: International Obligations and National Responses as the Way Forward." The article was published in 2017 in the Strathmore Law Review. That is the name of the journal. So now I'm reading a quote from the article. The Nigerian police force was formerly made up of constabularies. These constabularies, as the name implies, were primarily military in function and were used by the colonial government to silence opposition. It was specifically designed by the colonial government to subjugate the masses and consolidate its gains. It is clear that the Nigerian police force was flawed from the very beginning. It was not established for the protection of the people, nor was it established as a force responsible and accountable to the people of Nigeria. Acts of brutality and disrespect for the people's dignity and human rights started in the colonial times. The Nigerian police force were killing and maiming people as well as depriving them of their rights. They became a symbol of the dictatorial establishment. I'm just cherry picking some paragraphs from the article just to explain the message I'm trying to pass in this video. It's obvious that after independence, the Nigerian police force failed to jettison its colonial ideology. So rather than protecting the dignity and ensuring the security of the common man, the popular culture of the Nigerian police force appears to prioritize elitism and economic gain. That is also synonymous to the capitalistic ideology that procured colonialism in the first place. So recognizing these dynamics, Otwin Meranin stated thus: predatory capitalism has bred misery, turned politics into warfare, and all but arrested the development of productive forces. The Nigerian ruling class has assaulted the masses with physical and psychological violence. So this is still on the narrative of colonial legacies that still bedevil the country today. So the issue is the elitist ideology of the Nigerian police force. Hence, the way they served the colonialists prior to the country's independence is the same way they serve the interests of the rich and influential members of the Nigerian society. Thus, the victims of these acts of abuse of police authority are usually or almost always poor people. So it's fair to say that the Nigerian police force have orchestrated the de facto criminalization of poverty. Just like they made poor being a crime, because poor people are often the victims of these acts of brutality and abuse of police authority, and they often execute these cruel acts either for economic gain or in other cases when they are doing the bidding of rich and influential members of the society who have hired their services to orchestrate dis nefarious acts. So it's a capitalistic ideology. Capitalism in summary is the moralization of profit. Whatever is profitable is moral, regardless of the nefarious or depraved nature of the practice. So in conclusion, I will say until the police recognize and respect the dignity of the common man, and until the inherent dignity of the human person is prioritized over economic gain, the problem will persist.